Shalom and welcome to this month's Jerusalem Dispatch ICEJ UK that brings you a closer connection to Israel and the Jewish people through the ministry that is the International Christian Embassy UK. And in this programme we'll be looking at some of the threats and challenges facing Israel in 2023, but also marking International Holocaust Memorial Day. And in this programme, I'm joined by Len Greats, Director of Operations for ICEJ UK, and together with Pastor Jonathan Croft, London Regional Leader for ICEJ UK. So guys, warm welcome to the programme, and of course this is the first programme of the new year of 2023. Len, can you just give us a little bit of an update on some of the recent activities being done by the ministry that is the International Christian Embassy, Jerusalem, United Kingdom?
Yes, well, it's welcome to you, Simon, to the new year, and happy new year to our watchers. For 2023 may be a year of blessing, encouragement and being prosperous in his purposes. Well, we've just had an amazing year, the last year, Simon. We've seen God do amazing things. He's raised up people. He's introduced us to some key people. We've expanded our team. We've had our conferences, and we're really looking forward to this coming year because, you know, we feel as if we've stepped out in faith and seen things happen, and we're excited to see what the future holds.
Excellent. And Jonathan, warm welcome to the programme. Good to see you back on the programme. Happy New Year to you as well. What is your thoughts and reflections on the year that was 2022 facing Israel and of course the Middle East as well, which is never dull?
It's certainly never dull. Obviously Abrahamic accords continued. Those relationships began to be cemented a little bit more with travel between the two parliamentarians. So that's very, very positive within the nation. It was great that we were able to have a Feast of Tabernacles again for the first time in 3 years. So again, being able to gather together in that land. So for me, 2022, I returned to Israel, which was fantastic. And so it was a most favourable year for ICEJ as well. To be able to have that conference again was very, very important to us. But again, there's still political challenges within the UN. America is still not looking favourably towards that relationship. So there's a number of things that we still need as Christians to be praying for.
No, absolutely. So let's just remind ourselves not only of the history, but of the overview of the ministry that is the International Christian Embassy, Jerusalem.
In 1980, the Israeli parliament passed a law declaring a united Jerusalem as the eternal capital of the State of Israel. Threatened by the Arab League with an oil embargo, national embassies in Jerusalem closed their doors. That same year, Christians from around the world gathered in Jerusalem to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles. Sensing the isolation of the Israeli people, the participants and leaders of this gathering decided to establish the International Christian Embassy in Jerusalem.
The International Christian Embassy Jerusalem is since more than 30 years right here in Jerusalem to connect the global church with the nation of Israel. For many Jewish people throughout the centuries, the only face of Christianity, what they experienced, was the ugly face of anti-Semitism, of Christians persecuting the Jewish people wherever they found them. As Christian Embassy, we are here in Israel to show a new face of the church, a new face of Jesus Christ to the Jewish people.
The mission of the International Christian Embassy Jerusalem is fourfold: to educate the global church about Israel through events, television programs and print publications, to promote Christian celebration in Israel and around the world through the annual Feast of Tabernacles celebration, to mobilize the worldwide body of Christ in prayer for Israel, influencing global leaders and ICEJ representatives in over 80 nations, and to show compassion to the people of Israel through social projects that are changing lives in every sector of Israeli society. To learn more about the ICEJ and how you can partner with us, visit icej.org.
And that was a great overview of the ministry that brings you a deeper connection to Israel and the Jewish people through the pro-Israel Christian ministry that is the International Christian Embassy at Jerusalem, UK. Len, what will you say were some of the highlights for ICEJ UK in 2022 here in the United Kingdom, but also your headquarters in Jerusalem?
Well, one of the most exciting things for us here in the UK is to see the expansion of our team. We now have team members over the whole of the UK, from Scotland. Actually, we're missing out on Wales, so we're praying for somebody for Wales. But right across the UK, we've seen people who are superly qualified and super people to take on various roles in their various locations. And so, it's been exciting to see that, and it's a great joy to work with brothers and sisters who have a passion and the same heart, and where God has knitted us together. And for me, it's been a real privilege to get to know them. But also, we've also stepped out this year and had regional conferences in new places, in Lincoln, in the Midlands, and we unfortunately had to cancel the one in Scotland due to various problems that we couldn't address. But we are hoping to have our first Scottish conference in this coming year. And so to see the expansion of the work and to see people coming and joining us, and we've seen amazing provision from the Lord to help address some of these great challenges that Israel faces. We've been able to send out thousands of pounds from generous givers like you who have given, and we've been able to impact the folk in Israel through the generosity of God's people. So it's been a really, really positive year.
Absolutely. And Jonathan, I mean, you're very privileged. You went to Israel. You were part of the Feast of Tabernacles, so that has got to be one of your big personal highlights, hasn't it, for ICEJ UK, to be part of the British contingent that went to Israel to attend the Feast of Tabernacles and that wonderful march through Jerusalem waving the Union Jack.
Absolutely, and I've got some photographs of myself with the flag, that Union flag, and it was such a privilege and humbling, actually, a real humbling experience to certainly be going on the march with thousands of people marching, but also thousands of people watching, and to see and hear Jewish boys, girls of all ages just saying thank you for supporting us, thank you for standing with Israel. And some people even were weeping with their thanks for us as Christians marching in Jerusalem. And it was such a highlight, and it will be a memory that I will be taking for many years to come, and hopefully we'll be able to join future marches. So yeah, most definitely was a highlight in that.
And Len, what would you say was the highlight for you then personally through all the activities that ICEJ UK have been involved in 2022?
Well, as well as these regional conferences and meeting some amazing people like Salim Salash, an Arab pastor who came and spoke about God's purposes for Israel. It's quite an exceptional thing to happen. For me personally, one of the highlights was actually going to Jerusalem for the International Directors Conference in May. We had 4 days together, and there were 70 of us there from around the nations, and another 100 that were joining us online. And what so impresses and impacts me is the fact that we're part of this huge family, worldwide family. I've known some of these leaders for a number of years now, and to see them again and to hear what God is doing in their different nations, from Fiji right across to Brazil, to North America, to India, you name the country, and there's probably an ICEJ rep there doing something for God's purposes. And so I really found that so encouraging, that we're not alone in this. We're part of a huge movement of God in these last days that are reaching out to Israel and impacting Israel. And it's the Christians of the world that are impacting Israel. It's not just a little ministry here and a little ministry here there. It's the whole family of God. And to see that increase and develop, it was very, very humbling and amazingly encouraging.
Amazing, that's excellent. So let's have a look at one of the key highlights of the Feast of Tabernacles for 2022, and this is the Jerusalem March. That was one of the key highlights of 2022. Now that we're in 2023, we have to look at the threats, the challenges and the opportunities facing Israel this year.